So hello, love. So I want to talk to you about the amazing ability of how nature can heal us. If we're having a trouble with maybe something's going on or we're way too busy in our lives or we're just got so many things bothering us, if we can step outside, being in the beauty of this world in which we live in, it is so tremendously healing, and it brings us back home to ourselves. So last week, my husband and I drove up to see the fall colors of the aspen, which are just, there's mountainsides that you never know that aspens are there until there's about a 2-week period in here in Colorado where you see these aspens that just in their brilliant golden splendor. And so we drove up to a lake that's about 2.5 hours from where we live here. We live on the eastern side of the Rocky Mountains, but you drive up into the mountains, and it took us a couple hours, almost 3 hours to get there. And we drive through an area. It's a winding road with aspens all along the side, and just the backlighting of the sun coming through the golden splendor of these leaves that are doing this quaking measure in their leaves, and it's like they're clapping and you can hear the sound of them, and it's just this shimmer that's just so beautiful. And in the summer the shimmer's there, but it's in green, and it's just not as dynamic as it is for this 2-week period. Some of the aspens turn to red, kind of a reddish orange color, and some of them are in a really deep red, and it just depends upon the chemicals of the soil which they grow in. But this year they were so pretty, and we got to the river. We got to the lake. We go to this place called Cottonwood Lake, and it's beautiful. And around the lake, it was, we had kind of missed the actual high point of the beauty, and yet it was so pretty. But the road on the way up there, the trees were just in their magnificence. So what we did, I created a little picnic lunch for us so that we could just eat it while we're sitting there. And we're driving along, and my husband's like trying to find the perfect place along the river, and along the lake rather, to sit there and enjoy the beauty of the lake. And he just couldn't find the right spot. And I just finally said, please just stop. I said, my blood sugar's low and I need to eat something. I said, I'm frustrated here, and please just stop the car and just park it. Let's just be done with this, and then we can spend some time afterwards. And so we did. And so after I got my camera out and I took lots and lots of photos. And he's always tremendously patient with me, because we'll be driving along and I'll see something that I think, oh, this is going to be a great photo. And I get out and I take all these pictures all around me. And I never really quite know how they're going to turn out until I get home and I put them on the computer, and I can then, I can there maybe crop them a little bit or just adjust them a bit, or some of them are absolutely perfect, or maybe there's something in the photo that I didn't expect to find. And I'm just so surprised in how beautiful it is. But I just get out there with my camera and just take photo after photo after photo. But there's times that we go places that I don't have the camera, and we just kind of enjoy it. We drive through the forest. One of the things that we love to do, it sounds kind of silly, but there's an ice cream place that's about 80 miles away from where we live. Now, there's lots of ice cream places in the town where we live, but it isn't about the ice cream. It's about the experience of driving through the forest, driving along the countryside, seeing these beautiful fields, and there's elk and deer and fields of all kinds of different types of cattle all along the way. But it's beautiful, and the colors are beautiful, the nature of the fields and the blue skies and the clouds overhead, and it's healing. And it kind of puts you in a place of breathing in the beauty of nature, and it's so healing. So wherever you live and you have a place like that to hang out in, it might be a park, it might be someplace you have to drive to, or someplace you go to a river, or maybe you can spend time near the ocean and sit there on the beach and take in, all the negative ions of the water that are flowing by, and just be in the ocean. Give your worries or your concerns to the river, to the water, to the clouds that are going by, and just be in the nature. Another thing you can do is sit outside at night, late at night. Every single night I go outside after most everybody else in this town are asleep, and it's usually around midnight or 1 o'clock, sometimes even later, and I sit out there on my deck and I look at the stars overhead. And we live in a city, so we don't have as much starlight that we would have if we were in the countryside. But still, there are these really big, beautiful stars out there and or planets, and get to see it. And I just take it in and I breathe in this incredible ability to see these objects out in space that are light years away. I mean, hundreds of light years, thousands of light years away, thinking that maybe even they don't exist anymore. But because the light that shines takes that long to get to where we are, I'm seeing something, and how incredible that is. So I was talking to a friend of mine the other day saying, can you even imagine that maybe the starlight of who you are then extends out into space. Maybe there's something you don't see about yourself, then extends out into space, and then you see maybe and someone on another planet or someone out there in space looking down on you. It might even be somebody in a plane that's just looking down from their window, and you're looking up at the plane going by, and there's a connection. There's this, I see you, you see me. I see the starlight might see my energy, might see who you are. And this is how it is we do things in the world, where we connect, where we honor each other, where we acknowledge each other's presence, where we know that whoever's in front of us is of value, be it a human, being an animal, being it a beautiful place in nature, the trees and the aspens and the water and the river and the ocean flowing by. And just being in the quiet, being in the stillness of the forest, and listening to the trees, the wind swaying through the trees as they sway back and forth, and you just take it in. It's lovely, it's healing, it's precious. And those kinds of moments that I experience, they last me for a very long time. I might be able to just remember that, like just thinking today about being up there where the aspens were, and taking all these photos, and there's this one part where the river's flowing by and aspens all around it, and I took several photos of that, and it filled me because it reminded me of when my family had a cabin up in the mountains, and we'd spend a lot of time up there with the river flowing by, and the aspens would just change. You'd wake up in the morning and they would have changed overnight. They would be golden all of a sudden overnight. And it was just this magical, mystical aspect of what this beauty of autumn brings to us. We have a lot of things going on in the world right now. We have elections coming up. We have different storms that are happening that are creating challenges in different parts of the world. I mean, physical storms, things that Mother Nature is a part of, and some people are part of that. And we hold that space for them. We hold that place of safety and wonder, and holding this grace for them. And when we're in these places of nature where we can step into it and be in that place of that quiet stillness, then we're able to hold that for other people who maybe aren't in that right now. Maybe they're not in that place of safety, or they don't feel that, or maybe they're going through something in their life that's challenging, and we can hold that space for them. It's an energy that we have. It's a frequency within us, and we do this for other people, and there's all kinds of science about this. Quantum physics, all talks about that kind of thing. When we do this on behalf of someone else and just think about them, they gain our thoughts, just the energy of the goodness that we can send to them. It's that simple, it's that easy. That's how powerful we are in what it is we do when we extend our best selves towards someone else, or towards another situation, or maybe there's someone that needs our prayers or our thoughts or our good energy. So I send all of this to you today. Step out into nature, step out into the quiet, step out under the stars, or maybe it's being when the sun is coming up, or as the sun is going down at night. And be in the wonder of the beauty of this world that we live in. Be in the wonder of it. and be in the wonder of each other, be in the wonder of the gifts that we have to give to each other through the love of our hearts and the generous nature of who we are. We're mighty people. We are mighty. This is a time that's a powerful, powerful time with all the changes that are going on in the world. And we have a tremendous ability to be of service to each other just by being present in the moment on behalf of not only other people but ourselves as well. And so I send you tremendous love today, and I also share with you a painting I haven't shared with you before. And it is a neurographic painting, and let me pull it up so you can see it a little bit better. It's all done with dots. So neurographics is an interesting thing, and these are some of the classes that I teach. But I did this all with dots, and it is to mimic let me see if I can pull one up here because I found one right here. The colors of a peacock feather, which I love the colors of a peacock feather. It's so pretty. So anyway, it's to mimic those colors in a peacock feather. But it's kind of like stars and how they interconnect, and it's really kind of the energy in which we are, how we interconnect with each other, and how we bring our highest and best self. And the circle in the middle is always representing ourselves, but how we can extend that energy out, and it touches other people's lives even far, far away, and how we can have a great effect on each other. And so know this is who you are, at the highest and best of your very best self, and knowing that I send you love. As Grandma always said, love your bunches. Bye for now.